Hello, welcome back. I got a shower on the shaving, so let's read some more. I'm a bit sleepy today and tired, but I'm that every day. I'm copy 1100 gigabyte, so I cannot upload all this. I have to put this in the charger. So let's read some more. So I got a shower on the shaving and it's 1 p.m.
Tsar Bomba. Coordinates 73°4826 and 54°58540. Page semi-protected. Tsar Bomba ground level view of detonation. Source: Rosatom State Corporation Communications Department, Rosatom. The 20th of August, 2020. Public release. 1. Type Thermonuclear place of origin Soviet Union production history designer Iulia Raitan Andrei Sakharov Viktor Adamsky Yuri Babayev Yuri Smirnov Yuri Trutnev Yakov Zildovic. No build 1 operational, 2 prototypes, specifications mass 27,000 kilogram, 60,000 pound, 2, length 8 m, 26 feet, 2, diameter 2.1 m, 6 foot 11 in, 2. The Tsar Bomba, Russian, TR. Tsar Bomba, IPA Sat Smiley T Tsar Bomb, lit. Tsar Bomb, code name, Ivan, 5, or Vinya, also known by the alphanumerical designation N602, was a thermonuclear aerial bomb, and the most powerful nuclear weapon ever created and tested. The Soviet physicist Andrei Sakharov oversaw the project at Artemis 16, while the main work of design was by Sakharov, Viktor Adamsky, Yuri Babayev, Yuri Smirnov and Yuri Trutnev. The project was ordered by Nikita Khrushchev in July 1961 as part of the Soviet resumption of nuclear testing after the test ban moratorium, with the detonation timed to coincide with the 22nd Congress of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. 6. Tested on the 30th of October 1961. The test verified new design principles for high-yield thermonuclear charges, allowing, as its final report put it, the design of a nuclear device of practically unlimited power. 7. The bomb was dropped by parachute from a Tu-95 aircraft, and detonated autonomously 4,000 meters, 13,000 feet, above the Cape Sukhoi numbers of Severnaya Island, Novaya Zemlya 15 km, 9.3 mi, from Mitayashika Bay, north of the Matakhin Strait. 8, 9, 10. The detonation was monitored by United States intelligence agencies, via a KC-135 aircraft, Operation Speedlight, 11, in the area at the time. A secret U.S. reconnaissance aircraft named Speedlight Alpha monitored the blast, coming close enough to have its anti-radiation paint scorched. 4, 12. The bang meter results and other data suggested the bomb yielded around 58 Mount, 243 pj, 13, which was the accepted yield in technical literature until 1991, when Soviet scientists revealed that the instruments indicated a yield of 50 Mount, 209 pj. 4, as they had the instrumental data and access to the test site, their yield figure has been accepted as more accurate. 4, 12, in theory, the bomb would have had a yield in excess of 100 Mount, 418 pj, if it had included the uranium-238, 14, tamper which featured in the design but was omitted in the test to reduce radioactive fallout. 14, as only one bomb was built to completion. That capability has never been demonstrated. 14. The remaining bomb casings are located at the Russian Atomic Weapon Museum in Sarov and the Museum of Nuclear Weapons, all Russian Scientific Research Institute of Technical Physics, in Snezhinsk. Detonation mechanism barometric sensor. 3. Blast yield 50-58 megatons of TNT, 210-240 pj. 4. Tsar Bomba was a modification of an earlier project, RN-202, which used a ballistic case of the same size but a very different internal mechanism. 14. A number of published books, even semi-authored by those involved in product development 602, contain inaccuracies that are replicated elsewhere. 15. Including wrong identifying Tsar Bomba as RDS-202 or RN-202. Project goals. In the mid-1950s, the United States had an unconditional superiority over the USSR in nuclear weapons, although thermonuclear charges had already been created in the USSR at this time. Also, there were no effective means of delivering nuclear warheads to the US, both in the 1950s and in 1961. The USSR was therefore not able to muster a possible realistic retaliatory nuclear strike against the US. 15. Given the Soviet Union's actual strategic disadvantage in relation to America's nuclear weapons possessions, foreign policy and propaganda considerations during the leaderships of Georgy Malenkov and Nikita Khrushchev made a response to the perceived U.S. nuclear blackmail imperative. The creation of the Tsar Bomba represented a bluff in order to maintain the concept of nuclear deterrence. 16. Also, on the 23rd of June, 1960, the resolution of the Council of Ministers of the USSR was issued on the creation of a super heavy ballistic missile N1, Grau Index 11 of 52, with a warhead weighing 75 tons, 83 short tons. For a comparative assessment, the weight of the warhead tested in 1964 by the UR-500 ICB was 14 tons, 15 short tons. 17. The development of new designs of nuclear and thermonuclear ammunition requires testing. The operability of the device, its safety in emergency situations, and the calculated energy release during an explosion must be confirmed. 18. Name. The bomb was officially known as Product 602, 602, or N602, and codenamed Ivan. 19. The usage of different names can be a source of confusion. The Tsar Bomba, being a modification of the RN-202, is sometimes mistakenly labeled as RDS-37, RDS-202 or PH-202, Product 202. 14. It has also been referred to as RDS-220 in a number of relatively recent Western publications. Unofficially, the bomb would later become known as Tsar Bomba and Kuzka's mother, Kuzkina Mat. The name Tsar Bomba, loosely translated as Emperor of Bombs, comes from an allusion to two other Russian historical artifacts, the Tsar Cannon and the Tsar Bell, both of which were recreated as showpieces but whose large size made them impractical for actual use. The name Tsar Bomba does not seem to have been used for the weapon prior to the 1990 S.6. The name Kuzka's mother was inspired by the statement of Khrushchev to then U.S. Vice President Richard Nixon, "We have funds at our disposal that will have dire consequences for you. We will show you Kuzka's mother." 2021. The Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, designated the test as Joe 111, using their Joe counting scheme begun with RDS-1 in 1949. 10. Development. A Tsar Bomba type casing on display at the Sarov Atomic Bomb Museum. Sarov. The development of a super powerful bomb began in 1956-22, and was carried out in 2 stages. At the first stage, from 1956 to 1958, it was Product 202, which was developed in the recently created NII 1011. The modern name of NII 1011 is the Russian Federal Nuclear Center, or the All-Russian Scientific Research Institute of Technical Physics, RFNCVNIT. According to the official history of the institute, the order on the creation of a research institute in the system of the Ministry of Medium Machine Building was signed on the 5th of April, 1955. Work at the NII 1011 began a little at the second stage of development, from 1960 to a successful test in 1961. The bomb was called Item 602 and was developed at KB-11, VNIV. V.B. Adamski was developing 22, and besides him, the physical scheme was developed by Andrei Sakharov, U.N. Babayev, U.N. Smirnov, U. Atrutnev. 15. Product 202. After the successful test of the RDS-37, KB-11 employees, Sakharov, Zildovic, and Davydenko, performed a preliminary calculation and, on the 2nd of February, 1956, they handed over to N.I. Pavlov a note with parameters for charges of 150 mount, 628 pj, and the possibility of increasing the power to 1 gigaton of TNT, 4.2 EJ. 15. 23. After the creation in 1955 of the second nuclear center NII 1011, in 1956, by a resolution of the Council of Ministers, the center was assigned the task of developing an ultra-high power charge, which was called Project 202. 15. On the 12th of March, 1956, a draft joint resolution of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, CPSU Central Committee, and the Council of Ministers of the Soviet Union on the preparation and testing of the 202 product was adopted. The project planned to develop a version of the RDS-37 with a capacity of 30 mount, 126 pj. 24. RDS-202 was designed with a maximum calculated power release of 50 mount, 209 pj, with a diameter of 2.1 m, 6 feet 11 in, a length of 8 m, 26 feet, weighing 26 tons, 29 short tons, with a parachute system and structurally coordinated with the Tu-95-202 carrier aircraft specially converted for its use. 25. On the 6th of June, 1956, the NII 1011 report described the RDS-202 thermonuclear device with a design power of up to 38 mount, 159 pj, with the required task of 2030 mount, 84 126 pj. 26. In reality, this device was developed with an estimated power of 15 mount, 63 pj. 27. After testing the product's 40 GN,245 and 205, its tests were deemed inappropriate and cancelled. 15. The Tsar Bomba differs from its parent design, the RN-202, in several places. The Tsar Bomba was a 3-stage bomb with a Trutnev Babayev, 28. Second and third stage design, 29, with a yield of 50 4. This is equivalent to about 1,570 times the combined energy of the bombs that destroyed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. 30. 10 times the combined energy of all the conventional explosives used in World War II. 31. 1/4 of the estimated yield of the 1883 eruption of Krakatoa, and 10% of the combined yield of all of the nuclear tests to date. A 3-stage hydrogen bomb using